Hey guys, I'm sorry we're not going to be talking about and cleaning out this clutter just yet. I forgot to mention something in the last video, and that is the layer control. So if we go back to our channel and layer editor, you can see that we got a couple of layers here. It's important to note that the layers are very effective at using, at basically managing your overall scene. If we take a look at the torus again, we created the torus. Remember we screwed up the Phong, right? So the Phong is yellow, and oh, there we go, finally the DALL-E works. We got a torus, and let's say we create, I don't know, a tube. And as you can see, we suddenly have something that is very annoying to work with, because we might want to select the torus, the tube, or we're going to select the torus, right? It's hard to figure out. In this case, it's not hard, but once you start stacking objects in the scene, it will definitely become hard. So there's two ways we can approach this problem. The first one is to actually isolate one of the objects. So we press Control 1, right? And you could do the same thing, by the way, from the show one. Like you can isolate, select it, press Control here. But what you want to do here is essentially work on whatever it is you're working here. Once you press Control 1 again, your previous object will be shown. The cool bit here, by the way, is also that you can select different, it works for different modes, right? You can select, for example, the face. You can select several faces. I did this by holding tab, by the way. Press Control 1, and as you can see, I'm working only on the faces selected, all right? So everything else is out of my way. Now there's one way to work like that, but what if you got more than one object? What if you got plenty of objects, right? So you could obviously, if you had a cube as well, right? If you had a cube as well, you might as well just select these two and isolate them, right? So now you've isolated them and you only have two of them to work. But now let's say whatever you're doing, you need to isolate the cube too. So you're going to isolate it, but no, your previous object comes back. So now you're screwed because you've got too many things stacked together. And if you want to do something, you're going to have to move them around. Now there's a way around this, and it's called the display layers. Obviously you can group them in the outliner and all that, but that's another story. So we can actually create a layer, create an empty layer, and create another empty layer and another empty layer. So you got 3 layers. We got 3 objects. So 3 objects, 1 object per layer. We're going to add the cube. I'm going to call this cube. We're going to make this green. Right? Add selection objects to the layer. Notice that it pops up even in the inputs right now, the layer cube. Even though there's nothing we can edit in the inputs, it's still part of the input, right? And then we've got the torus. So we're going to have the torus here. Well, torus, make it red. And then we need to grab the pipe. Okay, see, I can't even grab the damn pipe right now. I'm going to isolate the cubes. Oh, there we go, I grabbed it. So I'm going to add this selection here, and select an object. I'm going to call this pipe. And it's going to be yellow. I'm going to save that. All right, so as you can see, currently we're really not seeing much of a difference, but now I can just click V here, the V here. It's going to remove the visibility of a particular object, right? So as you can see, I actually forgot to add the freaking torus to the, I want to autosave to the selection. So I add selected object, and now we have our desired object available to us, and we can work with it, right? We can do the same, for example, with the cube. Maybe we don't want to enable, maybe we want just the torus and the cube to be enabled, right? Now the cool thing about layers is that actually have more than one mode. So they can have a template mode, right, which is a wireframe overview, and then you've got the reference mode, which is like an actual rendering of the stuff, but you can't select it. Okay, you cannot select it, you cannot modify it, but it's still there. You know, I think I did something. Yes, I moved it. Let's just reverse this in this case. Let's go and say that the pipe is going to be a reference. Sorry, a template, and the cube is going to be workable, and the torus is going to be our reference. So as you can see, we see the reference we see the torus, the pipe, which is our template, and then we've got the cube, which is our editable thing. We can't edit anything else, only the cube. Now the cool thing here is, I don't remember which one of these two was snappable, but you can actually snap along. Yeah, the template is snappable, or is it not the template that's snappable? Let me see. Right. So yeah, one of these is snappable, which would be the templates are not snappable, unfortunately. So the reference is snappable, you can snap onto it, and the template you cannot. That's the difference. The P is the stuff that's visible or not visible during playback. We're not going to be doing any playback, so that doesn't really matter. And yeah, I think that's all when it comes to layers, really. That's most of the usages that we've got. Notice that once I deleted the objects, they are no longer coming. They will no longer be coming back, except with the pipe, because it wasn't visible when I selected it. So the pipe will be there, and it will be selectable once I remove it from the layer. All right. Yeah. Well, by the way, one more thing. If I added, let's say right now, if you take a look at the wireframe, it's yellow, and it's not yellow because because the object is yellow when it's shaded. It's yellow because it's the color of the wireframe, the color of the layer. That's also pretty handy. You can differentiate different wireframes with different colors, because once you got loads of different objects, the wireframes are going to start interlocking and intersecting, and you're gonna get a headache, right, from just looking at them. So yeah, that is all for this layer stuff. Maybe in the next video we're going to talk about the viewport options, but really they're inconsequential right now, and they're pretty much the same as the Unreal Engine 4. So wireframe, shaded, shaded display with texture maps and lights enabled, disabled. It's exactly the same as an Unreal Engine 4. The only difference is you got some other options here, like camera stuff and resolutions. Like gate mask, I don't even know what that is. Like, it's new in Maya 2017. Film gate. This is like for camera work. You don't need any of that jazz, right? Most of the stuff, you only need the options for viewport, right? Enable, disable GPU instancing if you want. Maybe get the cache the vertex animation if you want. Increase the texture resolution, whatever floats your boat. Anti-aliasing. Like, you don't need many of these things because you'll be rendering in the Unreal Engine 4. And the panel stuff it's okay, I suppose, but I don't know. I haven't had a use for it. Don't need it. Don't bother with it. Like, I don't even know what most of them are for. Like, I don't know, content browser. Like, most of these you can get it from the Windows anyway. There's your content browser right there. Where to go? There's a content browser. So, like, I don't know what you'd use these settings for. Frankly, I don't even know what they're doing here. So yeah. Make sure to look at Show. Show is nice. There's a bunch of stuff that you may actually use. Comes to lighting, it's kind of meh. And shading is also kind of meh. And the view is for cameras, so that's also kind of meh. Okay, delete that, and I'll see you guys next when we actually clean this damn UI. All right? That's it. Bye-bye.